This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen. With the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force. Do not return to the temple. That time has passed. And our future is uncertain. We will each be challenged. Our trust, our faith, our friendships. But we must persevere. And in time, a new hope will emerge. May the Force be with you, always.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Feel, don't think.
Fear is my ally.
The Force will be with you.
We are encouraged to love. Be mindful of your thoughts.
I will not betray the Republic.
Hey, Your Worship, I'm only trying to help.
Scruffy-looking nerf herder!
I'm not afraid.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
So yes, it's the end of September and layoffs at the big corporations are happening at Disney. 300 people are being let go, and it's only across Disney's corporate sector concerning HR, finance, legal, and communications, which looks to me like it's mostly probably DEI hires and DEI people if it's HR, which is fine by me. Okay. I applaud it. It's not affecting any of the studios. And that was a big question concerning Lucasfilm, but we do know that Disney Animation and Disney Studios itself did see layoffs. So far, I think Marvel did too. I can't remember. Maybe somebody could check up on that. But as far as Lucasfilm, none. This is where Sparrow comes in. Sparrow talked to Cameron after this news came out, and everything he said was very, very, very interesting, and I think to the point, and it's good for actual Star Wars fans, not good for the Molly Damons of the world. Let me tell you that one. And I just want to get into it. So Sparrow said to Cameron that they're cutting back on how many live action productions they put out. Probably one a year for the next 5 years. Okay. Which, fine by me. Some people will be disappointed. I'm not. I'd rather have one good quality 10-episode show than two half-assed mediocre shows. Okay. And they're going to be looking, at least Jon Favreau wants to look more at animation, and especially anime, which we've seen. And if they do the anime, if the anime is done in accordance with what they're doing with the canon, I'm all for it. And what they're doing is they're trying to get a younger generation of fans, hopefully introducing these fans to original Star Wars, real Star Wars, light and the dark, Han, Luke, and Leia, Anakin Skywalker, and everything. They've done a pretty good job with returning Anakin with Ahsoka, and I think Kenobi. Now, I know Star Wars Theory talked to the original writer of the Kenobi trilogy, and it sounded great, but I think one movie would have sufficed for Obi-Wan Kenobi. He didn't need a trilogy. All right? He's not, that big of a deal. And if you look at it, he is a teller of the story of Anakin Skywalker, not necessarily a main character. That's why I'm very, very kind of cautionary about elevating a character like Obi-Wan Kenobi to the status that he's been elevated to. So I think him not getting the movies was fine. But the fact that the series Obi-Wan Kenobi came out so quickly, I think hurt the scripts and hurt the story. But it goes deeper than Obi-Wan. After the failure of Solo, a Soy Wars story, the anthology movies had to go, period. And on paper, it was a good idea. It's just, when you've got Kathleen Kennedy, the uninterested leader of Lucasfilm, unable to find a coherent writer, and her casting choices, unbelievable. So let's talk about this. Favreau also wants to look into gaming. And they're looking at 10 studios to work with them to create games for PS5 and Xbox and everything else. Because what they want is they, again, want to attract a younger generation. And the previews of Indiana Jones and this Great Circle, they're pretty good from what I've gathered. And the trailer was fantastic. If this is the genesis of a new direction for Lucasfilm, fine by me. And it looks like a great jumping off point for this, what I would say, Star Wars rehabilitation and outreach program. But let's talk more about it, because there are things about Lucasfilm, what's going on there, that it didn't dawn on me till I was told by a person who was also involved with the Sparrow thing.
How embarrassing for you. I left you a message not to come. I'm passing on the Godfather.
So what is Lucasfilm doing to curb costs? Well, slowing down on live shows on streaming is one thing, and concentrating on getting good scripts, etc., is the other thing. And of course, aiming at gaming and animation. The other thing is that they're taking a lot of employees and moving them around to different divisions, and kind of it's hard to explain how this is going to work, but a lot of people are not going to be in the same place they were. And this also means that the layoffs that we wanted to see at Lucasfilm won't happen the way we want them to happen, because the people that have been causing the most trouble, like Kathleen Kennedy, are under contract. This guy has a contract. From what I was told by a fellow Sparrow friend, Pablo Hidalgo won't get his contract renewed, which is good. So we're going to get probably one live streaming show a year. And that's basically very different from, and of course, reaching out through gaming and animation. It's quite the different idea from what Kathleen Kennedy did, which was, we'll think about this as we go along, we'll plan it as we go along, which, look at the sequel trilogy, look at Solo, didn't work. The only thing that she made that had a coherent story was Rogue One. And I had heard somewhere that George actually did have, put a hand in helping do that script. So it didn't break canon. And it wasn't a disaster. So we've got people who cause trouble probably not getting their contracts renewed. I would say Rain Roberts, probably Candace Campos, and Pablo and a lot of the story group are not going to get renewed. Kathleen Kennedy is basically president emeritus of Lucasfilm with no power, nothing to do, and we just have to see what this October, which is coming up shortly now, brings us. I'm going to say this. The fact that Sparrow talked about the move in a different direction to slow down production for quality, not quantity, emphasizing gaming and animation to reach out to Gen Alpha, who I think would be quite recipient to Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia. Gen Alpha is a very interesting generation, let me tell you. They're less easily swayed than Zoomers. And there you go. So what else does it mean? Slowing down production, of course, raises quality. They can really concentrate on what they want to say. You will not have the freakout sessions people will have over the Book of Boba Fett, okay? And look, when Star Wars Theory talked to the writer for the Obi-Wan trilogy, you know, there were ideas in those stories they could have used for Kenobi, and they didn't. Kenobi, in my opinion, was fine, despite Moses Ingram. Honestly, I think Moses Ingram was hired because she was black, not because she was a good actress. Okay, that alone is racist in my opinion. All right. Same thing with Amanda Stenberg. Okay. It also means that Kennedy isn't able to stop the changes from happening. And a lot of the people that she put in place, these contract employees in the story group and in production leadership, will probably move on when their contracts are up. Okay, so just, sit back and I'd say grab your popcorn, because it's going to get pretty interesting later in the next month, I think. So I wanted to get this out there. Sparrow had a good scoop. And I've got to say, it opened my eyes about the contract employees, because I thought you could just fire Pablo, but he wasn't an employee, he's a contract employee. So if they fire him, Like Kennedy, they have to pay the whole contract. So, and I'm going to add this one. He's not getting the work he used to get from Lucasfilm, and he's doing freelance work on the side. Think about it. This is Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.